to the Singapore Diaries. I spent the Easter break in Singapore and Malaysia, and I had like huge plans for it to be this big artsy trip with lots of sketchbooking, lots of art making, and things didn't exactly go to plan, but I still wanted to share it anyway. In case you're new here, hi, my name's Jay. I'm an illustrator and graphic designer based in Melbourne, Australia. I run a cozy little online store, and I also have a monthly print club called the Moonlight Club on Patreon. Our May rewards are very, very cute. It's a cozy space for lots of emotions. Anyway, I'm also a university lecturer currently, and I really wanted to make the most of the Easter break. And so I went to Singapore and Malaysia, and I had plans for it to be a massive artsy sketchbooking type trip. It didn't happen that way, as you will see in this video. It was really inspiring and it was really fun, and I wanted to share it anyway. I think travel is one of the things that like rounds me out as a creative, and I love being able to look back on these videos and remember the good and the challenging times. I think one of the biggest memories from this trip will be the sweat, which you will see. But yeah, let's jump into it. Was not expecting this humidity. It's only, what is it, 9 a.m? 9 a.m? I'm dying. You're okay.
I'm fine.
Up in the morning feeling low again. Dressed up in my garment feeling no shame. Sun is up and making me feel whole again. Me, myself and I play in the right game. Take your hesitations, kick it like a ball. Use your intuition, start with something small. Jump into the water, ride that roller coaster. Listen closer, take off all your busters. Let's end it, getting closer, come on. Focus on you, how to make it pop again. Go deeper on your love and let it all begin. Open up a window, let the light go in. You, yourself, and I are here to win. Come to the highway. Don't forget your long day. Take it on Sunday, Sunday.
So the flight to Singapore from Melbourne is about 8-ish hours on the way there. And I swear 4 hours of that is literally just crossing Australia. Like once you pass the west coast of Australia, it's like a 3-hour flight. It's nothing. It's fine. Damn, crossing Australia takes a long time. 8 hours isn't too bad though. It was pretty cruisy. I got to make some art on the plane, which was really good. And I got to read as well. So I'm not one of these watch movies on the plane, and I don't know why. I'd like to be. I feel like it's normal to be like that. I'm either reading or I'm literally just staring at the flight map. I've had an entire flights basically where I don't do anything except stare at the flight map, like no music, no anything. I don't know why. Is anybody else like that? Or is it just me? I don't know. I like watching it move, although watching it move really slowly across Australia sort of drags on a little bit, I guess. Anyway, so we got there. We got there pretty late, quite late actually. I think we got to the hotel at like 10 p.m. So the first night was nothing. It was just recouping. And then the next day, so our first proper day in Singapore, we went to this French bakery and it was really delicious, and it backed onto Fort Canning Botanical Gardens, so we wandered around there after. It was beautiful and so green, so rainforesty. I've never even been to the north of Australia where we have our tropical rainforest. I've been only as far as the Gold Coast. I haven't been to far north Queensland, so this was my first experience in a really like humid and jungly or like rainforesty type of environment. Beautiful. I realized my body is not well suited to humidity at all. I think because of the humidity, like I had hoped I would be able to sit in this park and sketch, but genuinely I was like so sticky, and when we didn't have like breeze or air to sort of cool me down, I was like, I need to keep moving. I need to keep walking so I can get some sort of airflow to my skin. So I didn't end up sketching like I wanted to, but we had a wonderful breakfast, and then there was like a torrential downpour. I had looked up the best seasons to travel to Singapore and Malaysia in, and we went in April, and I had heard that April to October was the dry, quote unquote dry season, but there isn't like a significant like dry season, and we were right on the edge of like the rainy season and the dry season. So Singapore, it ended up raining almost every single day for at least 3 or 4 hours, and so we sort of had to plan our activities around when that would occur. So we went back to the hotel, watched some Netflix, which was really nice, and just sort of chilled out. And then we ended up going out later to a hawker centre for dinner, and we got Michelin rated chicken and rice, and it was like $8. It was really, really good. Really, really good. Delicious. I feel like Singapore with food, it can be really cheap if you're really intentional about finding cheap places to eat, but maybe it was just the area we were staying in, but where we were, if you just went to like a random, like the average restaurant in the area we were in, the food was Australian prices or sometimes even more expensive. So the food really varied. It was either super pricey or super, super cheap. Day 2 is a big food day as well. We tried kaya toast, which is this sort of like coconut jam every time we had it was white bread, toasted, and then you have it with a soft boiled egg, and you dip the toasted sandwich into the egg, and it's not something you typically come across in like standard Australian food, but it was delicious. I don't get like weirded out by raw egg at all. In fact, I actually really like raw egg or like really soft cooked egg. I had it a lot in Japan and really enjoyed it, and so the combo of the egg yolk and the sweet toast slapped. Absolutely slapped. The coffee was really strong, but I really like strong coffee. So this breakfast we ended up, was it the same day? I think we actually got it twice. We had it at one place and we liked it so much that the next like food center we found ourselves at, we got a second serving of it. And then I sort of had burnt myself out on it. I think I had it one more time before we left, but it was in 4 days. That's not like that's a fair effort, I think. So yeah, lots more food today. We went to a different hawker center for our dinner, Lapasat. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. My accent might be getting in the way of it a little bit. So good. So good. The Indian food I had there, I genuinely still think about it. I still dream about it. If anybody watches this and they are a Melbourne girly, where is good Indian food in Melbourne? Please. It is like my favorite cuisine. Genuinely, that's a big call actually. Favorite or second favorite behind Japanese, I would say. I can't decide truly, but if you have any Indian food recommendations, Indian restaurant recommendations in Melbourne, I am like all ears and I would be eternally grateful.
These days are running slow. Sunsets and shores far from home. Headlights are shining on the sea. No place on earth I'd rather be. And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. To all those places on the wall, and none come close to this, I'm sure. You try to say the sunrise the same, but tell me, have you ever danced in the rain? And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. Try to just follow the sweat, but I'll never find this anywhere else.
Look at that.
I'll never find, I'll never find.
So day 2 was the day that I had realized all of my clothing that I had packed from Australia, from Melbourne specifically, because it's not a particularly warm state, was completely inappropriate. I put on this like t-shirt, and it was a knitted t-shirt. I walked about 100 meters outside, and I had to say to Dennis, we need to turn around and go back, and I have to put on a sports t-shirt, and then we have to go to Uniqlo or H&M or something. I have to go somewhere and not blow our entire spending budget, but I need to get some new clothes. So we ended up doing that, and I don't really have any footage of that because it wasn't exactly exciting, and it's the same sort of shopping we have in Australia, but I did have to go and update my packed clothes because none of them, I bought jeans. Like, am I stupid? I think so. I bought jeans. It was 30 degrees every day and humid, and I bought jeans. I've actually got a bad habit of doing that. I also, in 2023, I wore a skirt to Mount Fuji in the middle of December. Not with stockings or anything, like just a skirt with like socks and sneakers. And then the tour guide was like, are you okay? It was snowing. We got off the bus and there was snow everywhere. And the tour guide was like, are you okay? I feel right. I just had like a t-shirt and a denim jacket. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't even feel the cold. Anyway, so I'm not great at packing weather appropriate clothing anywhere I go. Personal flaw. The next day, one of the highlights, and it's going to be food again. As you'll see, there's virtually no art making in this. I think the combination of every time we were outside, we were just so sweaty that we ended up sort of really streamlining our trip to go from place to place. And we had a lot of like food breaks in some ways because we needed excuses to like sit down inside and get out of the heat because I struggled with it. And so we saw, and maybe this is a weird thing to be excited about, but Tim Hortons, which apparently is Canadian, I think, and it's like a coffee chain. And one YouTuber that Dennis watches a lot always raves about it. And so we had to go there. We had to get coffees. We had to get donuts. They slapped. It's the only black coffee I've tried that I know I said I like strong coffee, and I do, but I don't like black coffee, and I don't like bitter coffee. And Melbourne's coffee is excellent, but very, very bitter when you get a long black. It's the only long black I've had that I could have actually drunk the whole thing because it wasn't bitter at all. And I don't know why that is, but it was great. And this day was our biggest day in terms of sightseeing sort of stuff. I think we actually got most of the tourist attractions done on this day. We ended up going to the cloud forest, which is essentially like a rainforest that's been constructed inside of this big glass dome. Stunning. We got there, we were able to see misting, and I think that occurs every hour or so, but it was beautiful. It was far cooler in there than I was expecting. Since it was a rainforest and it had mist everywhere, I was kind of expecting it would be even more humid than it was outside, but it wasn't. It was super air conditioned and super comfortable. So we spent quite a while here. Stunning. I've got a lot of images that have become inspiration and reference for me, for my art from this. Since we were in the Marina Bay Sands area, we ended up seeing the Marina Bay Sands lookout, like the top of the surfboard on top of the buildings sort of thing. It's like a hotel, and you can go all the way up to the top. This is the only thing I actually wouldn't recommend to people. I loved the cloud forest and I loved the flower dome. I think that the lookout was just because there's normally a restaurant and a bar up top, but it was under construction when we went. It was just the lookout, and you can, from what I understand from friends who have visited in the past, you would be able to go up to the bar and purchase a drink, and that would get you access to the lookout, and that was quite worth it because you could sit and have a drink, especially if you go up at sundown, watch the sunset. That would be stunning. But when we went, the bar and the restaurant were closed, and so you just had to buy the standard ticket. We went in the middle of the day as well, so obviously it was super hot and the sun was out, and it was 70 Australian dollars to go up to the top for the two of us to go up to the top of this lookout. It was a cool view, but there wasn't really much shade. It was really hot, and it ended up being $70, and I think we were up there for 7 or 8 minutes or something. We pretty much just snapped photos and then left. So for me, I didn't feel like it was worth it, but it would have been if the bar had been. Yeah, it was really, really stunning, and I ended up creating this gallery of images that become beautiful, beautiful wallpapers or become beautiful reference photos. And I've included that in my Patreon for patrons to access if they want to use it for reference photos, if they want to use it for phone or computer backgrounds. It was just so pretty. Loved it. Loved it. You excited? What did you get? Did you get anything different?
No. It's the same order, as it should be.
I couldn't decide, so I got 2 coffees. Gonna be a good day.
Let's see.
Is that the Jurassic Park theme song?
Can't hear it. It's starting again, I think.
And then we only had 4 days in, was it 4 days or 5? I suppose 5 days if you include the first day, but I don't really include that. So we only had a few days in Singapore. So our next day was the day we were flying to Malaysia. Now that I know how close Singapore and Malaysia are, you probably wouldn't even need to fly. I think you can get like a train or a bus. I'm pretty sure you can even drive. The flight was like 45 or 50 minutes from Singapore to Malaysia. So we went to Changi Airport early because I wanted to check it out. And because we had gotten in so late, the day we arrived, we didn't get to see the famous, like the jewel, the waterfall in the airport. So we went there quite early to do some shopping and some browsing. We saw the waterfall. It was gorgeous. We ended up getting lunch before we flew out to Malaysia. All in all, I did really enjoy Singapore. I think planning our activities around the rain, while it might have, felt initially inconvenient, worked out well because it forced us to have time at the hotel together, relaxing and resting. I actually didn't draw that much then either. We watched all of Black Mirror, the latest season, and I watched some movies. So that was really nice. But I think we were still clocking like 20,000 steps a day around the rain. So having those few hours every day of like forced inactivity and forced rest was really helpful. Like Dennis and I both have the personality when we're on holiday, we're very go, go, go. It's very much, we're in another country. It's cost us a lot of money and time working and saving and planning to get here. So we want to make the most of it that we can. And that leads us both to sometimes pushing like individual days on holiday like too hard, and it becomes almost sometimes unenjoyable because we try to cram so much in. And so the rain really forced us to not do that. And I'm actually really grateful for that, because I think that, especially given like how much I was struggling with the weather, it made it a much more sustainable pace of travel. Now, Malaysia is going to be a separate video, but Malaysia is much more art heavy. There were some really cool stores. I did manage to get some painting done and some sketchbooking done. And so I'm really excited to share that with you. And it's a really different aesthetic and sort of vibe to Singapore. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed coming along with us on our Singapore adventure. Keep your eyes peeled for the Malaysian one. And I also have some other fun videos in the works. I've completed another sketchbook. So I'm going to do another sketchbook tour video. I also have some massive plans for my store and I want to vlog that, the setting up of a new collection and a new drop. And I also have a video. I've recently got 1.9 million views on my Instagram in 30 days after a really long period of inactivity. And so I'm going to share how I managed to accomplish that, what I did exactly which led up to that, and what I've learned from having a few posts really hit my target audience well on Insta. So I'm going to make a video about that too. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and give me a follow, and I will see you in the next one.